everybody, and welcome to E-commerce Quick Fix Cross-Border Magazine official podcast. Today is a great day, it's a nice day because we are with our friends from PostNord. Jan Jakobsson, how are you? How's everything?
It's great, thank you. We got a little bit of snow in Stockholm today, so I'm quite happy.
We can say that the winter is officially home, no?
Yes, and Black Week is coming, and Christmas, so we're looking forward to this.
That's great. That's great. That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Now, Jan, tell us a little bit more about yourself, who you are, and what's your role at PostNord.
Of course, my name is Jan Jakobsson, and I'm the spokesperson on matters related to e-commerce. I've been in PostNord for quite some time now, and I work with e-commerce since as far back as 1995. Back then, the e-commerce was called mail order. Today, I focus on the digital agenda for the e-commerce, including APIs, integration, delivery checkout, and digital transport administration. If you say so, I try to help to shape the future of e-commerce logistics in the Nordics.
Jan, you mentioned mail order, and it was like prehistory. That was at the beginning, the dawn of time.
Yeah. I know.
It has changed a lot, isn't it?
It has, and based on the technical improvements. And I think we haven't seen everything yet, because now we see a new wave of AI agents and all that stuff that's coming up. So it's interesting to be in this part of the business.
Give us a little bit of a background on PostNord for all the viewers that might not be aware of exactly what PostNord is, which I think will be few, but nevertheless, give us a little bit of background, please.
PostNord provides communication and logistics solutions to and from within the Nordic region. We operate in Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Finland, offering both traditional logistics service and e-commerce. And we also have operations in US, UK, Germany, Poland, Singapore, China, via PostNord International, focusing on global distribution of parcel light goods, mainly from e-retailers. We have also a special focus on deliveries to the Nordic countries, since this is our home market. As additionally, I can also mention PostNord TPL, that we offer third-party logistics and warehousing in Sweden, Denmark, and Finland.
So pretty much everything related to logistics in the Nordics is under control of PostNord, isn't it?
Sort of, yes.
So as experts in logistics in that specific region, obviously you have also an international operation. We know about that, but as experts in e-commerce in the Nordics, tell us a little bit more about this report that you just released, the e-commerce in the Nordics report.
Yeah, it's a biannual report published by PostNord in collaboration with HUE Research, focusing on how the Nordic e-commerce market is developing. The insights are based on consumer surveys with 1,000 people aged 18 to 79 in each country for Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Norway, 4,000 responsees in total.
We want to know a little bit more about the specifics of the households in the Nordic region. Are they behaving fundamentally different to e-commerce in the rest of Europe? Because nowadays e-commerce is kind of a standard thing everywhere. I mean, at least in Europe. So, is there any particular thing that it's completely different or specific in the Nordics?
Well, we can say so that the households' purchasing power in the Nordics
It's
has
high.
Sorry?
It's higher than the rest of Europe,
Yeah,
isn't it?
and it has improved slightly as inflation has stabilized and interest rates have eased, supporting real wage growth. Still, consumers remain a little bit cautious,
Mm-hmm.
and they are prioritizing savings over consumption. But we see there is a light in the end of the tunnel. And the retail growth are gradually recovering, with online retail as the main growth driver. In Q2 2025, all Nordic countries except Finland saw positive retail growth. E-commerce continues to outperform the physical retail, boosted by consumers' demand on convenience, competitive pricing, and broader product availability. And the Nordic economy is expected to increase 2026 and 27, partly because they're back. The household will have more money to spend on purchasing power, and that improves. This provides extra room for consumption that will further boost the retail trade. So I think we are in a good position.
No, it shows. It shows. One of the highlights of the report was very interesting. It was that 83% of the Nordic consumers shopped online in the last 30 days. And at least 78%, if I remember correctly, at least shopped once last year. This is incredible. Those are really good numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, and all the consumers are very familiar to shop online, and the Swedish e-commerce companies, they are more mature and have come further in the development than other countries.
So
Swedish
you could say
retail.
that Sweden is the first
Yeah,
in the
I said,
race,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. It's the biggest, and we are more mature. Swedish retailers are highly competitive. For example, 25% of the Finnish consumers, they shop online from Sweden, while a few Swedes shop from Finland. And this maturity is also reflected in how Swedish consumers behave. We see that the fewer Swedes shop from abroad compared to their Nordic neighbors, while around 80% of consumers in Denmark, Finland, and Norway have made cross-border purchases during the past year. The corresponding figure from Sweden is 73. That shows Swedish consumers are more content with domestic offering and rely less on international sales.
We know that the Nordic countries, Nordic people are buying a lot online, but we want to know from whom they are buying. And it seems like in your report it shows that they are buying from Asia, from China specifically, 30%, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. China is the top country. 8 out of 10 say it is the price that attract them.
Hmm.
And Shein and Temu are these big Chinese players. But also Germany is quite popular
Oh,
thanks to competitive pricing, a broad product range, and reliable payment and shipping options. Germany is one of top 3 countries for Swedes, Finnish, and Danish consumer.
well, that's really interesting because I
Yeah.
would never put in the same sentence Germany and competitive price. It's amazing.
But if you talk to Norwegians, they have
Oh,
USA as the third popular country to shop from. Here, the low prices is a major reason, but also due to not finding the product in their own country. So it differs a bit.
yeah. Would you say that there is like an awareness of price in the Nordics? Are more cautious the shoppers?
Yeah, I think the price is driven by the overall economy situation that the households have been in. But as I said, I think we see now that we are going up from this situation that we have been in, and I think even the government is giving lots of options for the
Mhm.
consumptions to get in a better shape. So it feels great.
Mm. And if we have to talk about, for example, what distinguishes the consumer behavior in the Nordic countries from a pickup point of view,
Yeah,
what would
it's
you say
yeah,
would
it's
be
a
like
little
the
bit.
map?
Yeah, it's a little bit special because collecting parcel via service point as grocery stores and parcel lockers are popular delivery location side by side, of course, with home deliveries. Delivery locations like stores and lockers are appreciated because you decide when you want to pick up
Exactly.
your parcel so it fits your whole life puzzle.
Hmm.
Parcel Locker is the newest delivery location in the Nordics, as it is probably in Europe as well, which is particularly popular in Finland, where around half of the deliveries go via parcel lockers.
Hmm. I would say from a personal experience, since they activated We Are Madrid Base, and since they activated the parcel delivery, the parcel locker, the delivery in a locker here in Madrid, I want that. I mean, I don't want them to be ringing in my doorbell. I just wanted to leave it there. It's easier, it's better, and you don't have to interact with another human being, which is a plus. But you can pick it up whenever you want. Is that same feeling there? And how is PostNord offering a solution in this regard? And if you are.
Yeah, of course, of course. We are building out a really quite big network in all of the countries. So we are a part of this new delivering structure. So we support both home deliveries, parcel lockers, and service points to a grocery store. Our lockers are standing outside. there isn't anybody, everybody lockers aren't outside. Some of them are inside the stores, but ours standing outside. So you get a connection to them 24/7, 365 days a year. So I think that's the consumers appreciate a lot.
Yes, yes, I vouch for that. I mean, it's it's an amazing solution. Now, regarding payments, it's is there anything different? Is there any news that you may release or share with us regarding the payments?
Yes, we find interesting consumer behaviors even in the payment sector. And some examples of payment methods used online in the Nordic market is Finland, that stands out when it comes to bank payments. They
Hmm.
are very common in Finland. In the other countries, flexible payment methods such as mobile pay and this classical buy now pay later is quite popular. But we also see new mobile payment solutions have entered the market recently. In Sweden, we have something called Swish, and in Norway, they have something called Vips. And they are easy to use and quite popular. And as a mobile payment option, they are growing in more and more of the e-retailers checkout. So it's happening a lot in the payment sector.
Mm. We also see that regarding the checkout experience, there is also interesting findings like 86, 89% of Nordic consumers report a high checkout satisfaction per your report, per the top PostNord report. But also we see that there is like a standard request across all the markets, which is no delivery fees. Is this correct?
No, I don't think so. I think it's combination with what value you have in your checkout, how many items you have. I think the ED retailers are working a lot with this. You need to buy for 400 Swedish
Hmm.
kronor to get free shipping and stuff like that. So I don't think it's free shipping overall. No, I don't think so.
But we could say that the consumers try to push into that direction whenever
Yep,
possible, isn't it? And it's
yep.
kind of standard because everything that you said right now regarding the different regions in the Nordics, it seems like Finland, it's like the odd case always. It's like always things are different there. Would you care to explain a little bit why? Obviously, there is a geographic reason, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the Nordic we are quite similar, but we have other distinctions between the countries. And well, it's
Different levels of maturity
yeah,
regarding
and of
e-commerce,
course the
isn't it?
language for the Scandinavian peninsula towards the Finns. There are different stroke barriers, so I think that's probably have some implication on it.
Mm. What about the marketplaces? Do you have any findings in this report regarding marketplaces?
Yes, of course, the marketplaces are also big in the Nordics. We asked the consumer to rank up the top three in the report. And Amazon, Zalando, and Temu are all at the top three in all four countries.
Wow.
Yeah, the Nordic consumers are attracted by the large selection combined with good prices. And the logistic solutions are expand, so delivery times are also very good. Of course, it's faster transit time from Europe than from China, but it's good.
Yes, but at the end of the day, people buy, in China, regardless of delivery times, because probably a price reason, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, and the selection of options to buy. So it's huge, and the prices are low. So when we have this economic situation, people appreciate to buy cheap stuff. So that's it.
The e-commerce in the Nordics report has a lot of interesting findings that we've been going through it. One of the most interesting is the second-hand market. It's been increasing in the recent years, and the report clearly hints towards that 66% have bought or sold second-hand products in the last 3 months, and we see an age gap here. From 18 to 29 years is like 90% participation, and from 65 to 79, it's like between 40 and 60%. Would you say that there is a change in the trend in the consumer behavior
Yeah.
for the near future? More secondhand products, more circular economy will be coming
Yeah.
to the Nordics.
Yep. Uh, and what's I can say it's thriving, and it's based also not just the popularity to have this sustainability profile. The growth of the new platforms is increasing, and one contributing factor to the popularity is their ever increasing range of products in the platform. So it's easy to shop, and you can recognize you shopping from an e-tailer or for a second-hand platform. What also provides good buying and delivery experiences in these second-hand platforms is the integrated shipping options in their
Hmm.
checkouts. With them, you reach a much larger target group than before, when it was more like a local setup. For example, if you compare to buy something from, say, Facebook Marketplace, you usually meet up locally and hand over the sold item to the buyer, and you collect your money. When it comes to the circular new platforms with delivery checkouts supported by and integrated by the logistics provider, and you shop from, say, Vinted, their checkout and supply chain support sellers from other countries to sell them to the Nordics, to and from Poland, for example.
Hmm. So it's an
So,
amazing
so
combination because you have the capabilities of a normal marketplace, a
yeah,
normal e-commerce, combined with the advantage of being a second-hand product, which
yeah,
is
yeah.
sustainable.
Yeah, but I will say also that Facebook Marketplace is still the largest and most popular marketplace for secondhand. But as I said, it's mostly local, and it's still based on people to having to meet and make the deal or
Mhm.
take their own risk and send the parcel. All that stuff the new platform has solved. So
Are there any specific solutions that PostNord might be developing in the near future exclusively for circular economy or second-hand products?
it's emerging, it's developing all the time. So
Hmm.
uh, we have been into stuff like this parcel locker. How can you handle that from a second-hand
Hmm.
perspective? And
It's
so
integral to the whole logistic operation.
yeah. The supply chain, and also how you. I know that when you sell and buy stuff on second hand, the notifications is really important.
Yes.
That you as a buyer and the seller all could check out where is the parcel
Hmm.
now, has it been sent, when will it arrive, and all that stuff. So
Yeah, because there is a trust issue there. I mean, it's
yes,
if
of
I
course.
buy to Amazon or if I buy from whatever huge
Yeah.
marketplace, I have well, more trust that it's going to actually work than if I buy from a random guy anywhere.
Exactly.
Now, Jan, regarding the challenges that you have found with this report, are there any specific challenges for the Nordic market?
We see the young people
Hmm.
are good at comparing and considering ratings and reviews of product and the shopping experience. And this is interesting because bad ratings lead young people to refrain from shopping. So that's something that you need to consider. Sites that lack sufficient information about terms, such as shipping cost, and are not well known enough, they are not even them selected. So I think when you enter the market and work towards the younger group, you need to understand the target group very good.
Mm. There's also an interesting finding there on the report. It says that there is a perception, or it's a decline in perception, regarding the fact that USA had low prices, and this has to do with the situation with the tariff, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
So
But
we could say that the market is not buying as much as it used to buy from the USA.
yep, that's that's how it is.
And pretty much that's it.
Yeah. We wait and see what happens to the tariffs.
Mm. Now, regarding Europe, non-Nordic, for example, the rest of Europe, and keeping Germany out of the equation, how would you say is the relation between the Nordics and the rest of Europe? Is there interest in buying products from the rest of Europe? Logistic-wise, it's more complex, or what's going on there?
I I think that the two countries that we have seen standing out outside the Nordics is Germany and Great Britain, or England, if you say
Oh,
so.
the UK.
Yeah, yeah. Before Brexit.
Oh, before Brexit.
Yeah. So after Brexit, they have declined. It's these customs and transports and logistics is the consumers, they feel that, well, it's too difficult to handle this Brexit situation. So it has declined quite much for the shopping from England.
Now, finally, let's wrap this up. What defines the Nordic checkout experience? What will be like the key highlights for the Nordic checkout, for the perfect Nordic checkout experience?
Well, we in the Nordics have a very strong development for shipping and payment in checkout for, say, the last 10 years. It's a differentiated offer of both payment and shipping that the consumer has to decide before they push the buy
Hmm.
button. Convenience and choices such delivery or payment option are key to a great shopping experience in the Nordics.
Jan, finally, if you have to choose one single competitive advantage for PostNord, which one will that be?
I think the infrastructure is very, very important. That we have the possibilities to handle the home deliveries, the parcel locker deliveries, and the service point to grocery store deliveries. So the consumers can choose the best way of collecting their parcels. So as we'll say, infrastructure.